Okay, can you hear it now? Hi, stamping friends. This is Tracy Rather from Plum Crazy Stamping.
Now I can. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. I think we've got it working now. I'm going to crack this nut yet with this new software. Anyway, welcome. So glad that you're here today. Can you believe it's April 10th? Time for our regular Facebook Live. Today I'm going to do a second card using the Fresh as a Daisy suite. Let me go ahead and show you my desktop so that we can look together at this beautiful suite. And this is in the current annual catalog on page 110 and 111. And today I'm going to focus on making a quick, simple stamped card. So all you're going to need is some cardstock. I'm actually going to focus on using black ink with one accent color. And then, we need our cardstock, right? So stamp, ink, and paper is what we're using today. Now, as I share this with you, I just want to show you what is in this suite. Excuse me. And there is a beautiful set of designer series paper, which I'll give you a peek at here. The one piece of paper I don't have any longer is the one that you cut up into different pieces to make a number of card fronts. I've already done that with both pieces of paper. We're going to use the Cheerful Daisy stamp set. This is the photopolymer set with some really nice sentiments. This also has a set of dies that cut out the flowers, give you some accented flowers, gives you a label for your sentiments, but we're not going to use that today. But I just want you to know that that's available. And then let me get this out of the way and go ahead and show you these beautiful papers. Now, as I said, usually there are 6 different kind of papers. I've already used that one up that has multiple card fronts, but then 2-sided, so very daisy-like on one side, and then very muted colors on the other side, which I think are so pretty. And let me just flip this one to show you that, the Wild Wheat. Now, this is what I used last week. I'll just remind you. And believe it or not, today I'm going to show you this gray background and how I'm using it in the card. And I'm going to show you how you wouldn't need the designer series paper, but how you can use it. And even a color, like why would they do this gray muted color? Anyway, I'm going to show you. So let's get this out of our way. And we're going to get stamping right away today. So I'm going to bring out my Pierce mat because these are photopolymer stamps. I'm just going to slide them over here. We're going to use our Memento Tuxedo Black ink to get started. And I'm going to just open up my ink pad here. And so what I'm going to do, if I weren't going to use the designer series paper, I would just have this card front. This is 4 by 5 1/4. It is the same size as, let's see here, did I cut this down a little bit? Nope, 4 by 5 1/4. Same size as what the card insert is. We're also going to stamp on that. And I'm also going to stamp on the flap of a medium-sized envelope today to match. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this all out. We're going to get ready to do that. But the one thing that I am going to do, because I do want to use the designer series paper and show you a way to use just a muted piece of gray paper. It's kind of like, when I saw this, let me shut the banner off right now so I can see your comments here. There we go. Oh, I got to go like this to shut the banner off. Sorry, I want you to see more of my desktop. There we go. Okay, so Betty, hello, hello. Florence, hello. Lori, nice to see you. I hope you can all hear this now. I am just going to be putting this right in the center here and show you how I'm going to feature this with stamping. All right, so I'm going to just glue this down quick before I get stamping. Yes, and I'm not going to use this pretty side of this paper. For another card I will, but not today. I'm really pretty excited to show you this card. All right, so I'm just going to put this in the center. And this is 4 inches by 2 inches. So, you know, a lot of times this is one of the scraps the size will have. So that's why I'm using it, so that you can find a way to use the scrap and still make something beautiful out of it. All right, so that's the center of our card front. And then I'm going to start with my daisies. And I'm going to take first this big, this is the outlined daisy, not the solid one. And since the stamp is a little bit larger, I'm going to do the ink upside down on top of the stamp. All right. And then I'm just going to start with this in the corner. I am going to go a little bit off the page. Because this is photopolymer, I'm using my Pierce mat. And I do have another piece of paper underneath it because I don't want to get ink on my Pierce mat. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and I want to stamp another large daisy on the front here. And I'm going to go up towards the top of this and get that. And I am going off the edge, and I'm doing it on purpose. All right, I'm just going to set that one aside. Now I'm going to take the smaller outlined daisy, and I'm going to get some more daisies on here. And I'm not really trying to overlap this time. I'm trying to leave them a little separated. If they touch a bit, it'll be fine, but I'm really aiming to keep them separate. So we'll put that one there. And now I'm going to go ahead, and with this black, I am going to go right in the center of those other 2 daisies. And then I want to get another little one. I'm kind of making an arc, you know, around the center of my card here. There we go. We've got that. All right. So now let me set that aside. Now for stamping on the inside, I'm going to go back to my larger daisy here. And why have a plain inside of my card, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use the daisy kind of down here towards the bottom. And then I'm going to do a couple of these smaller ones down towards the bottom of the card. Once again, this is my card inserts that I'm working on right now. Okay, and I think I'm going to put one up here towards the top too. All right, so I've got that done in my black. And now I'm going to do the same thing with my envelope flap, but I need to do a little masking here. So let me see what I have in way of masking this off. I guess I just have a scrap piece of paper here. So I'll do this a little at a time. I am just going to cover, not the flap, I'm going to stamp on the flap. Oh boy. It's not even noon yet. No, it is noon, you guys. Sorry. I don't even know what time it is. See, it's been quite a morning. I had breakfast with a friend. I guess I'm a little giddy. I had a wonderful morning. So anyway, I had my very favorite Eggs Benedict. Oh man, I have a friend I go out with once a month. That is a highlight. I'll tell you, it was wonderful. All right, so now I'm just going to do a little stamping on the flap. And let's do a little bit, you know, let's do another one of these large ones. Got ink on my finger. And get this one right here. Okay, move that aside. Now I'm going to slide this down because I'm going to start by doing a smaller one on the side here. Okay. Just slide this, make sure I don't hit anything over here that I shouldn't. All right, so we've got that done. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the complementary color. So, you know, if you don't have a lot of colors in your collection, this is the perfect type of card for you to make because it's going to be gorgeous and you've just used some basic supplies. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and do the sentiment on here too. While I have the black before I put it away. And I'm going to try to snug that right in under the designer series paper. I probably should have put that up just a smidge, but it worked right there. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's do our second color, which I'm going to be using our Daffodil Delight. And let's fill in the centers. Okay, so I'm going to start with the larger flower center. And, oh boy, getting the corner of my stamp, I shouldn't press so hard, and I just re-inked this pad. Remember, when you re-ink your pad, just be careful because they're going to be juicier, right? So let's get our center in there. Up here, let's go ahead and add all of the large centers. And I've got a couple on here. Or you know what? I'm going to put a little extra big center in that one. There we go. And I think I'm going to do the same thing to that one. Okay, so we've got the large centers. Now let's go ahead and do our small center for the smaller daisies. Oh, I'm going to need my little piece of mask here to get part of that color there. I just love this set. It makes me so happy. I don't know what it is about that. I like Gerber daisies. I guess I like Shasta daisies too. All kinds of daisies. So it won't be long and I can see some of these in my garden. Okay, so we've got those. Oh, the end of my block got this, but thank goodness I'll have a remedy. I'll share with you here. But let me get that off of here. I get going and get talking and get a little sloppy in my stamping. But we'll fix that, no problem. And let's get the little center on this daisy. All right, there we go. So we've got our daisy centers in place. And now I thought when I did this, I want to just do a little something different. So first I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper I found has, now this is Gray Granite. Gray Granite is the series that we have in neutrals. Gray Granite has a little brown in it. And I decided to use that because it was a little lighter. And then the other color that's featured in here is Basic Gray. Now that's the darker one. So what I thought I would do to make this pop a little bit, let me get this out of the way, is I'm going to use the lighter of the two, which is the Gray Granite, the one that's a little bit more brown, as my card base. So we'll use my bone folder there. And then I'm going to layer the front of the card on the darker one to help it pop. So this is the Basic Gray. And let's go ahead and glue that on to the Basic Gray. So what I did is I just took 1/8 larger than my usual card front. So the card front, remember, 4 by 5 1/4. And I just got a bunch of glue on my fingers. And then the Basic Gray is actually 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it is very small. It's just a border of 1/16 of the cardstock, but I wanted to see this color on the front too. So that's why I'm doing it. So remember the white, 4 by 5 1/4. And then the basic gray is 4 1/8 and 5 3/8 to make that pop up a little bit. Okay. And now before I do mounting it on the card base, I'm going to show you my little secret here to get rid of my boo-boo. So this is a sand eraser, and this is a Tombow product, and you can get this online. You can get it at Michael's, Joann's, something like that. And what this does is literally helps me to, when I'm erasing, what I'm doing is I'm actually peeling a little bit of the cardstock away. So you just rub on here. Now, when I was doing a practice of this, I got black ink on here. This time it's the Daffodil Delight. But I don't know if you can see it yet, but it is going to totally disappear. I should have probably put it up close for you first. But it's totally gone. The mark I had, it was between the large flower and the small flower. So this is something every stamper needs in their arsenal, right? Okay, so then to make this a little bit more interesting, I'm going to go ahead and pop up the whole front. So I'm going to get out my dimensionals. Now these are regular size dimensionals. And I don't know, I'm going to make sure I use a little extra and it doesn't hopefully sag in the middle because I'm doing the whole card front here. So we'll get all those dimensionals on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just peel off these adhesive covering, right? Now you can take your pick tool for this if you want. Today I'm just going to use my fingers quick. All right, and then now this is going to have a real small border around it again with this lighter gray, and I'm not going to push really hard until I see it on top, because once this is in place, right, we have to go with it. Oh, and guess what? I just did it upside down. Oh boy. You guys are seeing me at my finest today. I apologize. Well, this is how you fix it, right? I didn't push hard yet. I was about to. All right, so let's turn it around and try again. Okay, there we go. That's better. Always good to take a look and don't finalize it until you get that chance, right? All right. And then let's go ahead and we're going to put our insert in. Just a little green glue here inside. Once again, I use that because I can slide my insert so I get the border straight, right? And then press it down. Now you could put another sentiment in here if you wanted to. Hi, Jill. Nice to see you. Kathy, no, you're not the only one that does it upside down. Today I'm giving you guys a whole bunch of lessons on what to do. All right, so anyway, there we go with our card with the beautiful matching envelope. And how easy was that? Now there's a lot of opportunities to step this up if you wanted to. So I wanted to show you, I do have some Daffodil Delight ribbon. So I could have wrapped this card base with this ribbon right here and then put a knot on it or a bow on it. But I decided once again, if you don't have these types of embellishments, don't do it, right? You could put gems on here, anything from silver, glittery gems, or things that would match your centers. You know, you could have put pink centers in here, you know, whatever color centers you wanted, and then do gems that would match. You could, if you do not have the designer series paper, you could use a blender pen or your aqua painter, and you could just, you know, mask this off. make a little color background, and when it dries, then do your stamping. So there's a lot of opportunity with this very simple card design that you could do to do it differently and to do it, your own way. So with that, I'm looking here to see if there's any questions. One of the things that I want to remind you is, I'll put that banner up again so you can see it, is if you like this, you want those measurements, there is going to be in my weekly email next week, the free tutorial for this card, and also another free tutorial that you get for signing up for my weekly email. And that address is right on the screen right now. And I'll remind you, if you're watching me on YouTube, and you want to leave a comment, please sign in with your Google account, into your Google account, and you can comment. And also, please hit the subscribe button so you'll know when I come back on and do another video. And also, anybody that does at least a $50 purchase with me at Plum Crazy Stamping during this month, I'm giving away a Fresh as a Daisy Suite collection 4-card tutorial. Now, if you don't have this suite and you buy $50 of other things, you can still use this. There's 4 card designs with measurements and specifics about how to make the cards that you could use with any supplies that you already have or that you're interested in. And that will be for this whole month. I also am going to be for Flower Fest. I'm doing how to make 4 really unique cards. That class is going to be live next Tuesday night. Let's go ahead and tune this in. Anyway, it's going to be live next Tuesday night, and I really have some fun cards and techniques that I'm going to share. And the registration for that will be right here on my page in about a day. And then I'm going to do a crop on a Zoom call with you where I do actually a question and answer session on stamping. I'm going to do a demonstration on watercoloring flower images on your cards. And then we have 2 hours together for you to work on your projects. And I'm starting something new called the Card Conversation. Many of you have been invited to that. And that's going to be about sharing floral imaged cards. And we're going to talk about all of that. And that is going to be for an hour on the 24th of this month. So just watch for those opportunities to get together and to celebrate flowers this month. We're getting ready for Mother's Day and planting our gardens and all things spring. So I hope that you can join me. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me at Tracy, TRACI, at plumcrazystamping.com. My job is to help make stamping easy for you. And I am just so glad that you were able to be with me today. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, friends. Happy stamping. Bye-bye now.